This is an iHeart podcast.
Wells Fargo is proud of the important role they play for their customers, their communities, and the U.S. economy, covering more rural markets than many large banks and nearly 30% of branches in low or moderate income census tracts. Also proudly serving more than 10% of small businesses nationwide. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/say-do. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Let your imagination take flight with an AI-powered PC from Lenovo. Whether it's creating digital art, designing new software, or building a portfolio for a future career, our PCs are powered by Intel Core Ultra processors to help students unlock smarter learning and unleash their creativity. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. All you have to do is choose the one that fits your passion. Head to Lenovo.com to shop AI PCs and find your perfect companion. Plus, get 5% off when you create an education account.
Hello, from Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month we're talking about maritime madams. Whether through scientific study, aquatic exploration, or legendary prowess, these women harness the power of the bodies of water that cover our Earth. Over the course of 272 days, this woman set out to sail treacherous waters in a solo journey around the world. With just over a year of training under her belt, and only a few years after learning how to swim, this adventure seeker traversed a hurricane in the open seas and sailed without radio contact for weeks. Her voyage made her the first woman to single-handedly sail around the world via the dangerous Cape Horn route. Please welcome Naomi James. Naomi was born in 1949 and raised on a remote, landlocked dairy farm in Hawke's Bay, New Zealand. Her childhood was shaped by a rural life, wide fields, early mornings, practical work, and little to no thought about the ocean that would later define her adventure. Naomi left New Zealand and made her way to Europe in a passenger boat. This became her first experience on the high seas. In the summer of 1975, while visiting France, Naomi met a professional sailor named Rob James, who would soon become her husband. Naomi was 26 years old. She didn't know how to swim properly. Her most confident stroke was a doggy paddle, and she would often get seasick on boats. But sailing with Rob over the summer, a daring idea popped into her head. She wanted to take on one of the most ambitious maritime expeditions in history, to sail around the world. She couldn't shake the thought. She didn't want to race anyone. She simply wanted to see if she could do it. So she pitched the idea to Rob. He jumped on board and began training her. Naomi was also able to secure a sponsorship from the Daily Express newspaper, and her friends supported her by raising funds for materials. On September 9, 1977, Naomi set out from Dartmouth, England, with her only companion, Boris the cat. Her course would take her on what's known as the Clipper route, the fastest sailing route around the world. She'd make her way south through icy, unpredictable seas and below the Great Capes of the Southern Ocean. First, South Africa's Cape of Good Hope, then Australia's Cape Leeuwin, and finally, the most difficult of the three, Chile's Cape Horn. The rough southern waters make this a challenging and dangerous feat for a sailor of any level. Naomi sailed on a borrowed boat, renamed the Express Crusader. It was a 53-foot sloop that usually required a crew of 10, but Naomi would handle it entirely alone. In order to keep steering the ship, Naomi slept in short, 20-minute bursts while navigating traffic through the North Atlantic Ocean. For 272 days, Naomi battled isolation, exhaustion, and everything the sea could throw at her. Her self-steering gear was damaged. She lost Boris the cat overboard. In the Atlantic, she sailed for weeks, a total of 8,000 miles, without radio contact. She experienced crushing loneliness, unsure if anyone knew she was alive or if she'd ever make it back. She tried to keep her spirits up by reading books and thinking of Rob as if he was there with her. 6 months into her voyage, Naomi faced her greatest challenge yet, a hurricane. The ocean waves turned to mountains, and in the rocky waters her boat capsized. Naomi rushed to pump out the water, weighing the boat down. She straightened the boat and continued to traverse monstrous waves and gale-force winds. She went 48 hours without any sleep as she reached the last great cape, Cape Horn. On June 8, 1978, Naomi completed her around-the-world journey. She'd become the first woman to sail solo around the world via Cape Horn, breaking the previous world record for fastest solo circumnavigation by just 2 days. She was met with cheers and celebration, and in 1979 she was named a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire. For Naomi, the voyage was a personal revelation. The sea had transformed her, shown her own strength and resilience. In an interview, she said, "It definitely sowed the seed for who I am today, there's no question." In an era when ocean racing was overwhelmingly male-dominated, Naomi's journey was a turning point, proof that women could not only compete but redefine what was possible on the world's most dangerous waters. In 1982, Naomi journeyed across the Atlantic in the Round Britain race with her husband, Rob. The trip was successful, but Rob died in a sailing accident the following year, just 10 days away from welcoming their first daughter. Naomi retired from long-distance sailing not long after. Naomi wrote about her solo sail journey in her 1979 autobiography, Alone Around the World. In 272 days alone at sea, the woman who got seasick on boats and learned to sail on a whim had traversed the planet's most treacherous waters. All month, we're talking about maritime madams. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you on Monday.
Every business has an ambition. PayPal Open is the platform designed to help you grow into yours. With business loans so you can expand and access to hundreds of millions of PayPal customers worldwide. And your customers can pay all the ways they want with PayPal, Venmo, Pay Later, and all major cards, so you can focus on scaling up. When it's time to get growing, there's one platform for all business. PayPal Open. Grow today at paypalopen.com. Loans subject to approval in available locations.
Wells Fargo is proud of the important role they play for their customers, their communities, and the U.S. economy, covering more rural markets than many large banks and nearly 30% of branches in low or moderate income census tracts. Also proudly serving more than 10% of small businesses nationwide. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/say-do. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
This is an iHeart podcast.